Jim DeMint has now not only started the recession, but gone to head the Heritage Foundation. He's quitting the Senate. Well, I want to give you a sense of how on the money Heritage Foundation has been throughout. Now, remember, they're a think tank. Their job is to think. And they put out these policy papers, and Republicans quote them all the time because they're so smart over there at the Heritage Foundation. And back in 1993, when Bill Clinton was proposing to raise taxes, well, they came out very strongly against it, and look at how right they were. They said, quote, tax increase would lead to higher deficits. It served as a recipe for recession. It would destroy jobs and undermine America's international competitiveness. Boy, did that turn out to be true. So, for example, how many jobs did we lose under Bill Clinton after he passed the tax rates? Oh, right, we didn't lose any jobs. We gained 22.7 million jobs under Bill Clinton. Now, that's during his entire term. What happened? I thought we were supposed to lose jobs. Under Bush, that miserable failure, we gained 1 million jobs in 8 years. And that's only because we didn't count the tremendous amount of jobs that were being lost in the recession that he started, right? In the very next month after Bush left office, we lost 750,000 jobs, which wipes out, and in fact, in the first 2 months, more than wiped out all the gains in his 8 years. So Bush is a flat zero, whereas Clinton gained nearly 23 million jobs. What happened? I thought increasing tax rates would kill jobs. Well, I mean, wages probably didn't grow. I mean, Heritage probably got that right? Wrong again, Bob. Wages grew by 21%. Who wouldn't love to go back to an era where your wages were growing by 21%? Well, on the other hand, you know, these tax and spend Democrats, when you do that, I'm sure it just totally ruined the budget, created huge deficits, right? Once again, wrong. In fact, by the time Bill Clinton left, we had a $236 billion surplus. So the Heritage Foundation was only 1,000,000% wrong. They were wrong about all of it. So what's interesting is that that's what they said back in 1993. That's what all the Republicans said. And they were so wrong. Did they get chastened by it? No, of course not. They're back to saying the same exact things. In fact, I'm going to read you quotes by Boehner and McConnell here. I don't know if you can tell if they're from 1993 or 2012. 20 years later, they're still saying the same nonsense, right? Here's Boehner in 93. The problem is not that we do not tax enough. It is that government spends too much. The president has reverted to true form, that of a tax and spend old-time Democrat. He has abandoned the tens of millions of middle-class voters that trusted him. Raising taxes on the middle class is not patriotic. It is idiotic. Except, John, it didn't turn out to be idiotic. It turned out to create 23 million jobs. Oops. Here's Mitch McConnell. They're all back in Congress at that time as well. He said, this package contains the largest tax increase in history and promises deficit reduction. This package will not reduce the federal debt or even balance one annual budget for that matter. Oh, devastatingly wrong. It did balance the budget, and it did give us a surplus. Of course, that surplus was then destroyed by the Republicans under George W. Bush because they never balanced the budget. They don't give a damn about the budget. They love creating deficits. The only thing they care about is not jobs, it's not wages, it's not the deficit, it's lower and lower taxes on the rich. That's what this entire party is built on. One last amusing quote from Christopher Cox, Republican legislator from California at the time, quote, this is really when the Dr. Kevorkian plan for our economy. It will kill jobs, kill businesses, and yes, kill even higher tax revenues that these suicidal tax increasers hope to gain. Suicidal tax increasers. They were massively wrong then. And they're, again, nearly 20 years later, saying the exact same things. Why? We know their motivation. They were getting paid by rich people, their donors at that time. They're getting paid by rich donors at this time to do their one and only agenda, tax cuts for the rich. Now, the only question is, why do we take them so seriously? Why does the rest of the media and all of Washington take these guys like, oh, really? What does John Boehner or Mitch McConnell think? Who cares what they think? They're the loser idiots who are so wrong for so long. They should be laughed out of town. Every time they come on television, these quote should be read to them and say, what happened? But you were wrong that time. Why wouldn't you be wrong again? But nobody ever does that to them. The Honorable John Boehner, the Honorable Mitch McConnell, Honorable my ass. All they are here to do is serve the rich, and every day that should be pointed out on national television.